the Ugly Duckling. In a quiet corner of the countryside, where meadows met the sky and the wind sang through the willow trees, there lay a pond as still as glass. This pond was a cradle of life, where frogs dozed on lily pads and reeds whispered secrets to the breeze. At the edge of the pond, beneath a tangle of leaves, a mother duck had built her nest. She waited patiently, her soft feathers shielding a cluster of eggs. The sun shone kindly on her back, and the days passed in tranquil warmth. At long last, the eggs began to tremble. One by one, tiny ducklings emerged, bright-eyed and golden, peeping with joy. But one egg, the largest of all, remained still a little longer. And then, crack, out came a duckling. But oh, how different he was. He was not yellow but gray. His feathers were downy but dull, and his neck was longer than the rest. The farmyard birds tilted their heads, and murmurs rose like ripples on the pond. "What a strange little thing," they said. "What an ugly duckling." Though the mother duck loved him, the others were not kind. The duckling, bewildered and tender-hearted, tried to play along, to swim and waddle like the rest. But wherever he went, laughter followed him. Not the warm kind, but sharp and stinging. The chickens pecked at him, the cat hissed, and even the geese turned away. The poor creature began to believe what they said, that he was ugly, unwanted, and wrong. One dusky morning, with fog curling low over the water, the duckling slipped away, past the old fence, beyond the orchard trees. He wandered far from the farm. He walked through fields where the wheat bowed in the breeze, and crossed a stream that babbled gently over stones. He found a new pond, larger and quieter, bordered by tall grasses and guarded by a single weeping willow. Here he rested, and for the first time, the water welcomed him with silence instead of laughter. The days grew shorter. Leaves turned golden, then amber, and fluttered like sleepy butterflies to the ground. The duckling watched as the world slowed, the air thick with the scent of earth and wood smoke. He kept to himself, drifting on the pond's cool surface, watching clouds reflected like dreams on the water. Birds flew overhead in graceful flocks, calling to one another across the sky. Sometimes he would see a glimpse of white wings, so wide, so strong, so beautiful, and feel a strange stirring in his heart. He did not know why, only that he longed for something he could not name. Though he was alone, the world grew quiet around him. The frogs no longer laughed. Even the reeds had softened their whispers, and in that silence he learned how to be still, how to listen, and how to wait. Winter came softly at first. Frost touched the grass with silver, and the pond's edges turned to ice. The duckling, now grown taller but no less awkward in his own eyes, struggled to stay warm. Snow fell in slow, gentle curtains, wrapping the earth in hush and sleep. He tucked himself beneath a hedge, his feathers thin against the cold. Hungry and tired, He closed his eyes and let the stillness carry him. Once, a farmer found him half frozen and carried him inside. But the warm barn was no safer. The other animals scorned him, and he fled once more, back to the wild. He passed the winter in silence and snow, as the pond froze and the stars wheeled overhead like guardians. His dreams were of wings and clouds and the feeling of flying without fear. And though he did not know it, something inside him was changing. At last, the sun returned. The snow melted into rivulets. Buds bloomed. The pond thawed, and light poured like golden honey through the trees. The duckling stretched his neck and wings. They were broader now, stronger. He did not notice how gracefully he moved, or how the wind now seemed to welcome him. Then one day, as the breeze rustled the cattails and the pond glittered in the morning sun, he saw them, swans, 3 of them, white as snow and gliding like dreams across the water. His heart leapt with wonder and fear. I mustn't go near, he thought. They will see what I am and turn away. But something gentle nudged him forward. Not a voice, not a command, just a feeling, like the wind whispering to the water. He stepped into the pond. The swans turned, and then he saw himself. Beneath him, the pond reflected a creature of beauty, not gray, not awkward, but white, luminous, graceful, a swan. The ugly duckling had never been a duckling at all. He had been a swan waiting, growing, becoming. The other swans circled him gently, welcoming him with kind eyes and soft murmurs. No one laughed. No one turned away. He opened his wings and felt the wind hold him. Children who came to the pond pointed and smiled. Look, they cried. What a beautiful swan! And he was no longer afraid. He glided on the pond that once held his sorrow, now his sanctuary. And as the sun set, painting the sky in quiet pinks and golds, he tucked his head beneath his wing. The reeds swayed, the water sighed, and sleep came as softly as a feather. For he was home, and he was loved.